Well, let's talk a little bit about your role as Booker in Georgia. We mentioned the great story before about Jerry Briscoe offering you the book during a match in the Omni back in February of 1984. So you've been in the role for about 5 months by the time Vince comes stomping into the picture. Jake, it makes me wonder, what was it like balancing being an active wrestler and being a booker for the first time in your career here in Georgia?
I found it very easy. I was surrounded by some good talent. I had Ronnie Garvin to work with. I had the Road Warriors out there producing. I had King Kong Bundy. Yeah, we had some guys that could go. Brad Armstrong, Tim Horner.
All those names that you've mentioned, and there's more. Guys like DiBiase was in the territory at the time. I know that Jim Duggan would swing through, like guys that you know and have become friends with and are your peers in Georgia. But now, maybe their perception of you has changed a little bit because here you are in a whole new position on top of being, a top draw in the territory. Would you say it impacted the way you were treated by the boys at all?
Yeah, it did, unfortunately. They started buddying up to me a little bit too much.
Mm.
You know, felt like my shorts were being pulled down from behind.
So with the idea being like, hey, if we kiss Jake's ass a little bit, maybe he'll hook us up with some great creative.
Better be a nose, nothing else.
Now, what about as far as like your scheduling was concerned? What did being a booker change for you as far as having to be in meetings, your work schedule, the timing of when you'd arrive in towns?
Well, arriving in towns was pretty simple. I needed to be there an hour before.
Mm,
So that was no problem. But as far as booking it went, I refused to go to the office.
really?
Yeah, I couldn't get anything done at the office.
Why is that?
You got too many people aggravating you. Yeah, if you were alone, you could actually think and do your process and write things out. But if you have somebody coming in the room every 15, 20 minutes, wanting to talk to you or wanting to see what you're doing or what's going on, or there's a phone call for you, Jake on line 2, there's a phone call on line 4, you don't get anything done.
Mm. Not to mention, Ole Anderson is part owner of the territory at the time. So like, if you're in the office, that means you got to spend time around him a lot. And I'm sure that he'd be one of those guys coming, knock on your door and asking you a shitload of questions and stuff, right?
No, on the door, he just screamed.
Oh my God.
He was a yeller.
Well, obviously you love climbing into the ring, but I know that you have a lot of passion for booking as well. So, Jake, I've got to ask, which would you say scratched the itch for you more?
Booking.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Performing was too easy for me.
Hmm.
I found performing just really easy.
So you like the challenge of being a booker?
Yeah, I love the challenge of booking it and creating new things and watching things come to fruition, uh, painting a picture and drawing the lines and putting the color into it. And yeah, man, that's what it's all about.
So one of the things that I hear a lot from guys in the business and guys who wound up booking, guys like Kevin Sullivan and Eric Bischoff and a few of the other guys who had the opportunity to book creative, is how frustrating it could be because like you come up with an idea and then some motherfucker gets hurt, or like some guy comes to you and says like, this doesn't work for me, brother. Or what was that experience like for you?
That sucked because you would have something painted in your mind that was so beautiful and so good and so with it, and it's going to make money, and you get some asshole. It's like, oh, I don't get it, man. I don't want to do that, or they just wouldn't put the right emphasis on the right times in the match or the angle.
Mm.
They wouldn't do the right spin on it. It's the fine tuning of the stuff that makes your money.
Can you think of anybody in particular who was kind of a thorn in your side when it came to poo
Kong
pooing
Bundy,
the shit?
King
King
Kong.
Kong Bundy.
Yes. He can fuck up a wet dream.
So you'd come to him with creative and he would just like shit on it?
Oh, he just shit all over it in the ring.
So you'd give him good creative and he'd say, yeah, no problem. And then he'd just go fuck it all up.
Just fuck it all up completely.
Now, what about guys bitching? Who would you say was the loudest bitcher when it came to creative?
Bundy.
Him, boy, this guy is tough to deal with.
Yeah, he was.